Hi, it's Claire Saunders. I'm here at IPC APEX from What's New in Electronics. I'm with Ryan Gamble from Intraratio. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Good stuff. And you guys have a booth at the show. How's it been going for you?
Really good. And I'm sure a lot of vendors will say that, the optimism, but I'm going to say in this case, the tone of conversation and the depth of questions and what people are really looking for, it's enlightening, it's great. I think there's definitely a shift happening in manufacturing, particularly with all the complexities we deal with today and the product. Very much a data-centric discussion that's going on.
So green shoots from the conversations, I'm hearing quite a lot of positive sort of comments due to what is an uncertain world that we're in right now.
Yeah, I think it's almost like, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I get a sense from others, it's have the blinders on, focus on what we're actually doing, how we're moving things forward from product perspective, supply chain side, sustainability, lots of this happening. And I think people are just really focused on, hey, what are we doing economically? How are we moving forward? And we'll kind of watch the fray and see how things unfold, and we'll pivot accordingly. But we are electronics, and we are a very tight global community.
We are, yeah. And tell me more about Intraratio.
So we're what you would consider, the moniker could be like an MES manufacturing execution software company, but not really. We're kind of shifted that. We provide advanced transaction automation and traceability, and data collection. So basically, we're a data-first type solution, cloud-based, and what we do is we provide and help companies digitize their factory operations very quickly, very efficiently, at sort of very rapid ROI achieved, and empowering their workforce by just being data-first. And so it's everything from how do you manage processes that are running, whether it's within factory, interconnect with other suppliers, and then what do you do with all that data that's generated? How do you make it actionable? And then how do you leverage AI? And that's a key thing on everybody's lips these days.
Yeah.
And so with that data-centric first approach, we make it almost seamless to now start to leverage the capabilities of AI.
Okay. So AI and skills gap, how is that affecting either thing? Because there's obviously a nervousness, I know, in lots of sectors about AI and people and changes for the future. What are you seeing? What are your thoughts?
It's I think with automation, with the skills gap, there's still a really strong talent pool out there. It's kind of two sides to it. Are we, particularly here in North America, are we getting enough students out with the right skills or the right skills to learn and take this on? The other side, is the industry sexy enough to attract them in a way, right? And so you're working with that now. A company like ours on a digitized platform, you can, when you digitize your factory operations, you've basically in essence captured the workforce knowledge necessary to run the line. And now to attract the talent that you need to help take that data and do some greater things with it, improvements, things like that, you need to empower them with the right solutions, the right environment.
Yeah.
And I think that's the opportunity there. I don't know how this is going to sound. Like, you kind of got to make it enticing, sexy, like really exciting electronics. And how you do that is like, on a data-centric aspect, showing them not only just from a product side, but what you can do with your job when you're empowered, and information empowers people. So that shift, connecting to the educational side as well to let them know what type of products, companies, technologies are out there. Final little note on that, I put together a very small gathering of companies in Miracosta College, up in working with some of my partners with me on the board of SMTA, San Diego chapter. And we brought students in, and we did that to actually say, hey, connect the students. Here's what's being manufactured in your backyard. You had no idea, did you? And some of them got jobs out of it that day,
Yeah. It's funny because I had a conversation earlier, and I've seen it myself with our son, one of our sons, making the industry more sexy. It's challenging, it's electronics. So, you have to do it, but I think when you kind of normalize what we do and put it into the end product element, you could be the person who creates the next thing that you can't let go of. Your life's ruled by your phone. This could be you. You could make the difference. And I think it's the connecting the two dots there to make people realize that actually what this industry does is what they live by.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think you nailed it. Yep, absolutely. Showing them what a difference you make within that product journey, within the manufacturing, the design side, even sourcing of components and things, and finding around the world where what you need to pull in and make it, everybody can play such a huge role in there. But yeah, bringing visibility to that, I think you nailed it.
Yeah. I think that's the thing you've got to do. You've got to normalize it, let them realize that they could be the person who could turn around to their kids and say, when I used to play on my PlayStation, look what I did, or look what my company did. So,
that's cool.
Whatever. Other games are available, of course.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, we're not going to stick to one vendor. But yeah, hey, I worked. When I got into my career, I think something that's lost is just the magnitude of what people do. I started my career early 2000s, and the group I was working with, they had engineers that were responsible for the 4-bit microcontroller that ran the Voyager space system. That thing's still out there, interstellar, generating data and responding back. I mean, talk about a seismic shift and a movement for people and our understanding of the solar system. And this is just some engineers, women and men sitting in a room in the 70s, and we do that every day. That's happening everywhere. But we gotta talk about that excitement,
Exactly.
and what a footprint you have. And they're fulfilling jobs, fulfilling careers. I started as a hardware engineer in semiconductor. Now I'm fully in software, cloud-based data center. If you had asked me in early 2000, hey, you want to be in software data center? I'd be like, I don't know. I have no idea. And then boom. So talking about those paths of which we can take, you're never limited in just how much opportunity it opens up.
Yeah. And what do you see as the next steps for your company? What's exciting? What's out there? What are you?
It's there's a number of key things, but strategically, our thing is to engage. So we have tier 1 customers. So we deal with very large volume global manufacturers, but we also have startups as part of our customer base, and then middle tier. And for me, the excitement is now with AI, bringing it to a rational message of what it does, making it accessible and usable at almost a negligible price point where you kind of level the playing field. These are the things that are exciting to me in terms of our approach. So, I don't think companies and people generally understand how accessible it is. And so making that accessible even to a junior engineer that can come in and load a machine learning model out of Python and fire it off against a data set to basically generate insights for them, help augment their job. So sort of in a way accelerate their skill level and give them the time back that they could pause and think and grow creatively and critically. So that's the important thing. And it sounds a little bit big and idealistic, but it's actually happening. It's the truth. And in a way, just to dispel a lot of the fluffy buzz wrapped around AI, the whole idea, like making it actionable and just putting it in the hands of people, whether you're startup, NPI prototype, or your tier 1 volume global connected company, just leveling that playing field. That's exciting for me.
Okay, fantastic, great. Well, thank you very much for sharing your insights with us. It was great to see you, and I wish you a great rest of the show.
Thank you,
and
sincerely
I'm sure we'll
appreciate
catch up
it.
again next year. Thank you.
Look forward to it. Thank you.